World of Warcraft, the MMO that just won't go down.
And I feel like we've been talking about the death of World of Warcraft for an incredibly long time, but it's such a silly thing to talk about. I think we say that because it was the biggest, and it still is.
Continues to be
biggest. Yeah. But when you come down from 11 or 12 million people playing every month to now, maybe 5-6 million?
Yeah.
I'm sure they had a bump. They've stopped talking about how many subscribers. They stopped publicly talking about how many subscribers they get. But I'm sure you still get a pretty big bump around a big release like this.
Totally. 5 million people, nothing to shake a stick at. This is the 6th expansion for this game, and I mean, it wasn't like they were there are expansions for MMOs that there were some MMOs they used to bring them out every 6 months, or they weren't very very big. But the expansions, I mean, Burning Crusade, this game. So WoW came out in 2004, November 2004. I remember it well because we got illegal American versions back home, so we could play it 3 months before it came out in Europe. BC came out in 2007, Lich King 2008, Cataclysm in 2010, rewrote the whole map. Pandaria 2012, a whole new area. Warlords of Draenor back in 2014, and today Legion adding a bunch more stuff. And you played some today, and I'm interested to know what that stuff is.
Well, there's a lot, and a lot of it's going to be in-game content. The stuff that's immediate is Demon Hunter, which if you pre-order the game, you can automatically roll the new hero class, kind of similar to Death Knight, where it's not a new race, it's a new set of abilities that you can jump into at a specific level. I think, and this one is 98.
Okay.
So it gets you really close to the level that you need to be to experience the new content for Legion. New level cap 110. One of the more interesting things that they've added in are the artifact weapons. So in this, you're not going around, you're not looting for new gear in the form of weapons. You're still getting new gear, but you choose you get an artifact weapon, based on the World of Warcraft mythos, Ashbringer, Doomhammer, based on your class, and then you get to customize that based on the choices that you make.
Okay.
Based on the quests that you complete within the Legion content.
So does that sort of take the form of? I remember when they added socketed weapons, for instance, in the game. Is it that sort of thing where you're there are parts of the weapon that you're sort of specializing or putting,
I think it does have some abilities like that, but primarily it's cosmetic. What you choose, you get to choose how it looks. Because otherwise, everybody is going to be getting an Ashbringer, and then otherwise every Ashbringer would look exactly the same.
Right, yeah.
For you to make it your own, you get to choose the quests, and those quests let you make it look a specific way. And some of them are really cool, some of them are whatever.
Yeah, did you get a chance to play some earlier today?
I watched Julio play.
Okay, cool.
I am not caught up. My version, so I'm still somebody who buys the physical editions, because they make the best collector's editions of games. I don't buy a lot of physical editions of games, but they just look so good on your shelf. It's like a book sitting there.
I worked launch at a GameStop for Lich King, and we did a midnight launch in Cork, which is the second biggest city in Ireland, and we had a line out the door for those ones specifically as well. They just make great sets, and they look great beside each other as well.
Yeah, they line up really well. They've been consistent with it, and mine didn't come in though. I did pre-order it, and I got a note from Amazon this morning saying we have to delay shipment of this sometime between September 28th and October 25th.
Oh my God. It's a while.
So I was like, screw this, I'm just going to go buy it on Best Buy. And I pulled up and I was like, oh no, it's sold out online everywhere else too. Oh, crap.
Yeah, so you can't just go and buy your key. Because the interesting thing now is that, I think, is it all of the old expansion packs are now free?
Yes.
So
you can experience all of that. Well, let's see. Yes, you can. You don't have to pay extra for that content.
Right. Yeah.
Once you're subscribed into it.
Yes, you still have to pay for a subscription in World of Warcraft, but that stuff is.
But you can also level for free up to 20, I think.
Okay. Right.
Which is so there's a little bit of that crack, a little bit of that first taste.
And the power leveling stuff, of course, now is built into WoW as well.
So you fast. Level 20, you get to level 20 in just a couple hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons I think it's free. Is you can get your characters up to 20. It's so much faster than back in the day of vanilla WoW. That was a feat
for sure.
You played some WoW as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I only played about 15-20 hours total in Orc Hunter, and I think I got to around level 20. Does that sound right for that amount of time? Or no, probably 30 maybe. I just remember I was playing, and I was playing by myself. When I play those kind of games, I kind of, aside from Destiny, I play that for the co-op purposes. Yeah. But WoW, I was always just a very solitary thing for me.
Me too, and I played the game for years. Like, I played up past BC, and I guess it was before Lichkin. I dropped off. But every single expansion pack that came out, I would go back. So like, I loved playing Cataclysm when that first came out. I did it with Pandaria as well. I guess I didn't so much with Draenor, but I was looking forward to doing it with this. But it does sound like most of the content here is endgame stuff, right? If I go to the Stormwind or Ironforge, it's not going to be super different to what it was.
I feel like, the world itself is not going to be that different, but I think if you skipped Draenor like I did,
right,
that it does feel like a different kind of game. I think Draenor is when they introduced a lot of the graphical upgrades, and all of that's finished.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. So all the in-game cinematic stuff is like totally alien to me. Like, I've not seen much of that at all.
Like, I think the game itself just looks better. It's still not comparable to some of those Korean MMOs. Like, those are some gorgeous looking games.
MMOs that didn't come out 12 years ago.
But it holds up really well. That cartoony art style was such a great choice in something in creating a game that lasts. That when you look at it today and you don't think that this looks dated, that it doesn't look like a piece of crap game. It's like, no, it's stylized and it fits the world in that game they've created. Like Wind Waker on the Zelda series. Like, that's going to always look good.
That's why I've been playing Diablo 3 pretty consistently since like 2012 when it released, was it? And I on PC and PS4, and I don't think that'll ever look too dated. I mean, I play Diablo 2 still sometimes, that looks dated, but that's a completely different art style. Whereas Diablo 3, like the closest I've gotten to like sticking with Blizzard for like a super long time is Diablo 3, honestly. Just with the updates they're introducing, like the cube, like all when they introduced rifts, that was pretty huge. Adventure mode was huge when Reaper of Souls came out, and
I mean,
stuck with
if
that
there's
pretty
one thing you can
consistently.
say about Blizzard is that we've seen with Overwatch as well, but like consistently with WoW is that they've done a good job of trying to retain people. Like the drop off we're seeing, for instance, in games like Destiny, where people are coming back every time there's an expansion pack. I mean, that exists. The peaks and valleys exist in WoW, but they've managed to, like, if they're retaining 4 or 5 million people, that's quite amazing.
I mean, they have that core. You have people who I'm sure played nothing but WoW, and that is just their go-to game, and it's always been their go-to game. And even having those peaks and valleys, like, you still have, here's your core, here's your base, the people that are going to keep coming back to it. And then the people like me that will go in, like, oh, there's an expansion, here's some new stuff, I'll go in and experience it. We don't necessarily have time to commit all of our gaming time to just one game, but it's something enough to draw you in, and you have that core, super friendly, super encouraging audience who will help you along. Like, so many times when I get in the game, like, there are just people who are higher level who just want to help you out and be like, hey, I'll show you how to do these things. It's the complete opposite of what you hear with MOBA is like League of Legends.
Hit up that RPG server as well. Just make sure you speak Elvish or whatever, or don't talk about Donald Trump in General Barron's chat, or they kick you out.
Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Just do it in a dwarvish accent.
Just make some sort of troll out of it. So there you go, World of Warcraft Legion, the latest expansion pack for World of Warcraft, out today. It seems like it's, I don't know, from the cursory looking at this and from hearing what you're saying about Julio playing it, it does look like it's mostly for people who have been playing World of Warcraft, or maybe got to the end of endgame stuff and wanted to get more content there.
I mean, you can't. I don't even know if you can make a game at this point and say we're going to introduce new people to World of Warcraft.
That's a good point.
It's such a convoluted and complicated thing.
And like, if you're new and you want to play WoW, like, go play WoW.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need new. There's like, you've got 10, 12 years of amazing levels and quests and content. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
and they've streamlined it. It's so easy to get into that now and see, like, well, is World of Warcraft for me? The expansion is not going to convince you. You need to just try it out, play those first 20 levels, and then hopefully you have a friend who can kind of help guide you, because it is still, like, I don't think it's unfriendly. I think it's friendlier now than it ever has been. But it's definitely nice to have someone who can encourage you and let you know you're on the right path.
For sure. There you go. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Did you play WoW in the past? Did you have you had your interest piqued again by Legion? Are you going to jump in, or is it not for you? Let us know in the comments below.